Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living. My name is Gary, and today I'm going to show you how to make mint jelly. You can see this entire bed is full of mint, and then we're going to be cutting some mint and we're going to make our mint jelly. It's really simple to make jelly. I just take about this much.
Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living, a whole food plant-based lifestyle.
Mint jelly. When it goes crazy in your backyard, you have to make things with it. Now you're going to need a stove, whether it's electric, gas, propane, firewood, really doesn't matter. All you're going to be using is boiling water. Alright, the first thing you need to do is you want to get all of your equipment in an easily accessible area so that you can easily get to it. Alright, so let me explain why we're making mint jelly. Yesterday was Easter, and of course, our only obligation was to bring the mint jelly. And we thought that we could go to just about any grocery store and find the mint jelly. We went to like 15 stores, and then we couldn't find it. Then we started reaching out to our family, check out your area, see if you can find mint jelly. No mint jelly. So we had a huge amount of mint growing in our backyard, so we decided we were going to take on this adventure. So I asked my wife and we worked it out. So step one, cut your fresh mint and get your leaves. Alright, these are fresh mint that you saw me cut from my backyard. So strip them down going down and save the stems. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to wash your stems that are all cut up and the leaves. And because they're so fresh and they come from your garden, they're going to be dirty. You're going to wash this several times. Don't worry, there's plenty of nutrition that you're going to be able to get from steeping them. Okay, this takes several times. Okay, so here, this is the first one. You see how brown the water is? Best you can. Run away. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Take out any yellow leaves. You don't have to spin it down. Next, you're going to cook, basically steep your leaves. Okay, let me get this going here. Some of it's stuck in the strainer. Once your leaves are in, you're going to put in 2 cups of, we have filtered water, but you're going to put 2 cups of water in. Next, I'm going to pour the sugar in. If you're vegan, use vegan sugar. If you're not vegan, use white sugar. Use whatever you feel comfortable with. I made it hard on myself. Last time I had put it in the water first. But it's all going to be the same thing. Now right now we just have 2 cups. We're going to make sure. Now you're going to steep this for 45 minutes, and some people do it for over 2 hours because they want to have that intense flavor. We found that 45 minutes worked. So we're just putting this in. You can see the flame is on high. Oh, not on high. The flame is on high now. Now you're going to bring this to what they call a hard boil. A hard boil is when you're really seeing the bubble action. The water is just frothing at the top. You're going to boil this for a full minute under the hard boil. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're going to put the other cup in. Alright, you say, this is a lot of sugar. This is going to make like 3-4 jars. And we both in this family do have a sweet tooth. You do not have to use 3 cups of sugar. You can go down to 1 cup of sugar if you just like to have a mild flavor. Now, I was really surprised that when I cooked this and I realized the water was brown. You can't really see it much here. But I thought if it was a green plant, green mint plant, you'd have green water. That is not the case. Which is why people use food coloring. Okay, so we're going to let this boil. We're going to let it come to a boil, and then I'll show you what an hard boil looks like. Alright, now while everything is still steeping on the stove, you still need to cut your lemons. You need a 1/3 cup of lemon juice. So, of course, we're going to speed this through, but let me just show you one time. You can do it multiple ways. I'm just going to use this as was from my wife's mother, and we always save it. Now I want to talk to you about the lemon seeds while I do this. Turns out that lemon seeds have pectin. As a matter of fact, the entire lemon has more pectin in it than many other types of vegetables or fruit. So if you want to try different things out, try to see if you can save the seeds of the lemon itself. Put it in a refrigerator overnight and see if you can have some gel to it so that you can use it. Say you want to, if you're a type of person that has to be like, for example, these lemons don't have any pesticides on them. They come from a really dear friend of ours that has a beautiful lemon tree. We're lucky to have them bring over fresh lemons every once in a while. It's not that we don't buy them in the store, it's just that
It always tastes better when they come from a friend. And those seeds are trying to run away, and I'm going to capture them in a minute. Alright. So as you can see, I have now my 1/3 cup. Now you're going to put this in right over here in the pot where it's been steeping. It's all in there. And just in case a lemon seed did make it, it's not going to make any difference. That's what it looks like. So I use this little wooden implement, and that's how I got the lemons. And I'm saving the lemon seeds, and I'm going to experiment to see if there's really any pectin, and is this a way I can avoid using the classic pectin and use the more natural pectin. Now it turns out that lemons have a lot of pectin, so I never throw these away. I use an Instapot. I use these and I put them in a plastic bag, and then when I'm ready to work on my cleaning my Instapot, which I use quite often, I always have something. Now, when they're this fresh with no pesticides, they don't last long. And I just go through them really fast. And then these will go back into my refrigerator. Okay, so now we just clean up the kitchen and we prepare for when we put the two liquids together, which is one will be the apple juice with the pectin, and the other one will be the mint leaf extract. While this comes to a boil, I'm going to show you the pectin side. We like to organic apple juice. I don't make my own apple juice. I don't have an apple tree or friends with an apple. So this works the best for us. I like to use Full Circle Market. So what you're going to do, you're going to take 2 cups . You're going to pour it in this pan right here. Now to activate the pectin, you need to use cold fruit water or water. If you don't have fruit, don't have apple juice, you don't need it. Now we're going to move a little closer so I can show you how I'm doing this. So this is the pectin we're using. We're using Ball Classic Pectin. We're going to use six tablespoons, like this. Then we're going to stir it up. Sometimes if you don't stir it right away, it can clump up, so you don't want to do that. Just stir it up. Now to activate the pectin, it has to also boil at a hard boil for a full minute. So we're just going to leave this here already on the stove top. I'll cover it up and it'll be all ready for when we need it. So now we're still waiting for this to boil. Don't forget to set your timer, 45 minutes. You see now it's counting down. Now that we've brought it up to a boil, we're going to let it steep for 45 minutes. That's what the timer is all about. And we need a cover. Too big. Alright, we'll see you in a little bit. So this here is ice cube trays that I've cleaned very well and disinfected the best I could. And then what I did is, this is the mint jelly that I made yesterday. What I'm doing with them is I'm going to put them in these ice cube trays, and then it's been getting really hot here. I'm going to simply make mint jelly ice cubes, and I'll add it to water, and when I come off from a hard day working in the garden, I have it all made. So we're just going to show you an example here. So So this is truly freezer jam. I'm ready to scarf this up on a piece of delicious toast, but it's going to go in the freezer in the garage. All right, so we have about 23 more minutes where we are slow cooking right here. See it? And we're slow cooking our mint. As soon as this is over with, then we'll start finishing up the jam. All right, now we're turning off the timer. Now this is the dangerous part. What you do is you need some oven mitts. And what we're going to do is basically use the filter we have, like this. And then we're going to slowly pour this over inside of here. And you hold it over the top and you just kind of push on it. Now the stems make it a little difficult to get everything out of the leaves. Now I want to show you that the liquid, basically the simple syrup that we've created. So we removed the leaves and the stem from the stock pot. And now I want you to notice that the liquid that comes out of the mint simple syrup is not green. You could actually leave it this way if you wanted to have your mint jelly au naturel and not green, but then you know that may not be what you want. So what we're going to do next is we're going to clean the stock pot, put this back into it, and continue with our recipe. This would go in your compost bin. So we're just going to take this and pour it through the screen one more time. And all we caught was one little stem that managed to make its way in. Now this presently is just going to sit here for a few minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on low, on simmer, and this over here, the second pot right here, has got the apple juice and pectin. We're going to boil this for 1 minute. Okay, so as soon as that comes to a hard boil, then what you do is you mix them together and you boil them for an additional minute. Now it's getting close. You can see it around the very edges there. That's not a hard boil. Let's turn on some light. What you want to do, you can mix it if you want to, but we already did that earlier. You're going to need a whisk, and what you're going to really need here is a strainer. What's going to happen is you're going to have some foam on the top of this during the hard boil, and you're going to remove it using this strainer, because you don't really want that in your jam. You want it to look clear and beautiful. Alright, so we'll see in a few seconds. This is when you start your 1 minute. Now you see this fuzz, this stuff on the top? You don't want that. You want to take that off. See? Okay, and then right away you start your other batch over here to start to go. Right now it's not doing anything. It's been on low heat. You get that to boil. And then 50 seconds, less than that, 30 seconds we're going to put both of them together. Because you're still taking the foam out. This action is what activates the pectin. Okay, then you pour it inside. Now this is going to boil for 1 minute. So we reset the timer. But first you have to have it boil. So it's on high. Let me show you. See, it's on high. And as soon as that gets done, then we'll be able to let it rest, and then we'll be able to put it in bottles. For me, it's going to be glasses, Pyrex ware that I have, and also eventually put it in the freezer. All right. So we're going to let this come to a boil, and I'll be right back. All right, we got it to hard boil, and we only have 30 seconds left. And you see you have scum on the top again. That has to come off. So we're going to take it off with our little dandy strainer here. And that's it. You turn off the heat. Turn that off so I don't have to hear it anymore. Well, as you can see, I don't have any jars yet. So what I'm doing is I'm using glasses. This is what I used on Easter. And these are Pyrex glasswares that have been sterilized. But first, I've already cleaned out this bowl. We're gonna put it together in this bowl, so I can show you the food coloring. Right. Beautiful brown. It smells so heavenly. My entire house smells like mint. And it lasts for days. Okay, so this is how it works. Now, every food coloring is allowed but red. Red comes from a beetle, and that's not allowed. Red is not usually put in mint jelly, so we don't have to worry about it. So we're putting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops. Then you stir it up with a whisk. Like so. And that's it. And you start. Okay, so it's going to be fairly easy. I'm going to use my gloves. Hopefully not make a giant mess. I'm very good at making messes. And we're going to try to move it in there. So here. That bowl out of the way. Everything is hot. Now for you professional canners, this would be the time where you'd be putting, and you can see I have a little bit left. I'm going to put it in this glass, already been sterilized. I use my dishwasher to sterilize my glasses. Alright, I didn't make too bad of a mess. So then all of this now goes into the fridge. I'm going to let it cool for a few seconds or minutes before I stick it in the refrigerator. But that's basically it. What we did originally is we got some aluminum foil. You know, I thought that I could get, it works. And I'm going to put them right in the refrigerator like this. Thought if I did this ahead of time, it would be a little faster, but you know, these things don't always work out. Now on this one here, where I'm going to be taking it someplace else, I eat a lot of broccoli. This is one of those broccoli rubber bands. I do this to it, and I just bunch up the aluminum around the rubber band, and I cut it out when I get to my friends or my family, so it looks pretty. But right now it's just serving a purpose until it gels. Okay, so that's it basically. So of course, when I did this yesterday on Easter, I did this really, really fast with my wife's help. She was doing one thing, I was doing another thing. It didn't take as long as it is when you're shooting a video. And then once you get into your pattern of it, you're going to be able to whisk this thing really fast. Your jelly, that is. Okay? So now what the next step for this jelly is to go in the refrigerator and gel up. Now, we did this in the early mornings, and by evening time when we had our family party, it had gelled. But not really solidly gelled. And so that's why I doubled up on the pectin. I'm hoping it works. Even if it doesn't, it's delicious and it's every bit worth your while. Well, we really thank you for watching us here at Healthy Vegan Living, and I hope to see you in our next video. Bye-bye now. And also want to thank the Rebel Canners for supporting me on their Facebook club too.
If you like what you see, subscribe. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.